Welcome to your reading. I don't think you can hear my music in the background. These headphones are supposed to cancel out all sound. Yeah, you shouldn't be hearing anything. So okay, I have your messages. So let's get these open. And the names. Okay. So okay. So basically, I thought it would be smart to kind of do these all together. One second. Like to do them in like one video, basically. The two. Where is the chart? Oh, I didn't add the birth info yet. That's pretty wild of me, isn't it? So it's over there. Goodwin. Okay. Hold on. I could pause this, but I haven't officially started the reading yet. Where the fuck is it? Go to followers, my main account. I should find it. There it is. Okay, so messages. Okay, got you both. Okay. So, you are Virgo and he's a Pisces, so you guys have opposite sun and moon already. That's just like me and my mom. My mom's a Virgo, I'm Pisces. Definitely creates an energy. 1 second. And you also start my clock. And then you send one. Okay, so September 20th. Okay. All right, so your moon is also in Virgo, so you got lots of triple Virgo. Damn. And then Maverick, a little Pisces. Palo Alto, Bay Area, Stanford. Okay, so I got them both in. Now let's take out the last names. Let's save them both. I haven't started the clock like officially yet, just so you know. Okay, so where he's coming from, he's such a bright, beautiful light. I'll be the one to dim his fire. He's going to have his beautiful light heart broken someday. I just don't want to be the one doing it. Okay, we're good. So I got all information. And yes, that is my reading speed. It's like, woof. Okay. Okay. Now I can start this stuff. Okay. So, last names. Hide those, please, Jesse. Any of my crystals. Show me these readings. Okay, so first of all, so I was thinking, should I just do these like independently? Then I was like, nah, we'll do them in one. It's just better. It's easier. It's more intuitive. It's what I kind of like felt into it. And I was like, no, it's better like this. Also, I don't have music on that often when I do readings, but this is like really, really helping me. It's really awesome. And I love how these headphones block all the music out, as long as I don't have it on like full blast. Okay, so okay, so for Dawn, let's go ahead and share the chart. So I go like you'll see my face sometimes. A lot of times I'll be like meditating, like like literally like laying in meditation, just like so let's see here. So basically, you Dawn, when you have all of this energy in Virgo, of course, like there's always going to be excessive worrying, especially with Cancer, so close enough to your sun and your moon being in Virgo. You know, there can be a tendency to sometimes worry about stuff that doesn't need to be worried about. But that's one of the things that makes Virgo so amazing too, is that they really, really care. They really, really care about all those specifics. Like I read your message about your son, and it reminded me of my mom kind of, like just that energy of just wanting that ultimate happiness for him, and wanting to do everything like tangibly possible to make sure that that happens. But yeah, in your chart, your moon, and it's rough having that much Virgo. You really lack, let's see, aspects, but I mean, let's see. Not that it's a bad chart. There's no such thing as that. And you don't have that many difficult aspects, but you have a little bit of air, a ton of earth, and you have a water, Mars, and the Cancer. So you have everything besides fire. But basically, like when you have, but your sign, your sun sign, your moon sign, your Virgo stellium, it's all in the fire house of the Aries house, which is a very, very fiery house. So it kind of gives you a taste of Aries regardless. That kind of self-starting energy. So what I always say, I'm actually gonna turn my music off because it's actually becoming a little bit distracting. So what happens with Virgo is that the whole thing of 0 or 100 energy, no matter how much spiritual work Virgos tend to do, it seems that there's always something there, um, of worrying, right? Excessive worrying, like looking too much into the like kind of like the how do you say it in English? like looking too much into like the kind of trivial, like the small picture. So your son, he's a Pisces, right? He is all about the big picture. He's got a lot of planets in Pisces, Mars, Sun, Mercury. Is it, it's combust, but still. And Venus and Neptune conjunct Venus and Pisces. So he's fucking wow. He is an artist. Whether he does art or not, Maverick is an fucking artist. God damn, that's nice to see. One sec. Hold on. Hold on. I had to answer an important message from my mom. Sorry. So yeah, Maverick is like really showing you, because you would probably, I'm not gonna like you know like say that your chart's bad. I mean, let's talk some good about Virgo, right? Virgo is, you guys both have stelliums in opposite signs, so it's very karmic. It's very based on you guys kind of complete each other in a weird way, right? Because him as a Pisces, he's so sensitive, he's so dreamy. He's probably, I bet you if I asked you who's the most like creative person you'd say him. You'd probably say him. You'd probably say he's a creative genius. Um, and he probably is, honestly. So, 1 second. Why is my mom doing this? Hold on. I'm gonna actually, I'm gonna pause this for a second because I was I was saying my mom's really being a Virgo. Okay, resolved. Oh my God. So yeah, basically, there's a ton of learning that you guys do from each other. He kind of shows you how to let go of of these anxieties, if you want to call them that, or like this over worrying, this like self criticism, and come on, Esme, enter. And Virgos can be really, really stuck in the moment, very, very stuck in like kind of, they can just be stuck. It can just be a stuck energy, right? Like where like there's like this the perfectionism, that 0 or 100. If I can't get 100, then I might as well just get 0, because what's the point of having 80 or 90? So a Pisces is someone who is very, very go with the flow energy. They're very dreamy, and they're totally okay with you know not having that perfection met, right? Like it's not, and it's 222 right now, so what I'm talking about is important every time it's 2222. So basically, yeah, this whole concept of you guys kind of being soulmates in the sense that like we have multiple soulmates, it's not just like a romantic thing, makes perfect sense. Now, let's see, Scorpio, yeah. So, you know, for you, what's really important is learning to have self-compassion for yourself. In a sense of learning to be your own best, like learning to treat yourself how you would treat your own best friend. That's like ultra important, right? Because Virgos, they can be the person in the room that thinks they're at the bottom when they're really at the highest. And it's just like with Pisces, it's kind of similar, where there can really be issues with self-esteem and issues with seeing themselves in like an objective way, right? That's the thing with Pisces, is that objectivity becomes really difficult because it's ruled by Neptune, which is the planet of fog and delusion, self-delusion. So, you know, and this of course has so many like romantic implications too, when, you know, you're someone who, like, as a Pisces, when, you know, you become someone who sees someone, because all his stuff's in the eighth house, so he's definitely meant to be like a very spiritual person, but he has to watch out for in love. You know, and he's just like me. He's a Leo rising, Pisces sun, moon. Wow, your son literally is freaking me. Holy fuck. Excuse my cussing, but that's shocking. Your son is me. Oh my god. Wow. I'm like literally in shock. How many I've met like maybe 3 or 4 people who have the same big three as me. Of course, like, you know, my Venus and Mars are in Aquarius. He's born in 2013, so he's very young. I just want to double check that. So your kid is going to be a lot like me. Is that trippy? It's a good thing. I mean, he could be. There's differences. But yeah, definitely like. Okay, so then this becomes more of like, okay, so I see kind of where we're headed. I see where we're headed here. Let me just like review something really quickly. Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, the fact that he's so young, he is definitely gonna have like an emotional need to explore the world, to travel, to learn, to expand himself. And you know, he definitely has to watch out for addictions too. That's a huge thing for him with eighth house on that Pisces. It's like he's gonna be so in tune and such an empath in like in relationships and just in general, that, you know, he's gonna have to watch out for that. He's gonna really have to watch out for escape, for like negative escapism. So he's at the age now where he's still able to find, you know, more positive creative outlets. So I would really focus on that for him. Um, Music would be my number one choice, for him and his chart. I think it'd be a great way for him to kind of, because he has that Saturn on the IC, which can be difficult. It can talk about like, you know, some level of like restriction in childhood. Um, so one sec. Mhm. So I'm guessing you and the husband are divorced. His son square moon, or at least there's like a misunderstanding between you two. I see you're if you're the like, okay, so if you're the sun in his chart, like, because like whoever the more dominant, more masculine, more present parent is, which my intuition says is you, it's a really positive karma and energy with the sun, but it's usually the father. That's the thing about the sun. It's usually the father. Um, there's one parent, the moon, which is usually the mother, but maybe in your case, since you're the one who ordered the reading, which maybe his father's not as much in the picture. there's some level of pain and healing that needs to get done. But overall, it's not like, you know, and also with whatever parent that is, there's like a real at oddsness in terms of like communication and mental understanding, basically, right? Because that's the Neptune and Moon. But like, I mean, shit, like, you see the synchronicity of you getting your charts reading your son's chart read by a guy who has like the exact same big three as him. Like, did we even talk about this? Let me see. Okay, hold on. Okay, there's other stuff I haven't read that you said. I know the best ways, the best. Okay, so this is really parenting. So I'm gonna focus a lot on him, and then go back to you and synastry, all that. Yeah, I got you. So, yeah, your kid's special, yo. I mean, he's special. About the same time next month, I will ask for a compatibility with a follow-up. Yeah, definitely do that. I mean, I'm gonna give you some compatibility here. I mean, like, but like with real compatibility, like I take that extremely seriously, and like I need to go and I need to do research, but you're gonna get some compatibility here, you know. So don't worry about that. But if I would definitely like schedule, you know, at least a follow up. But yeah, like a compatibility reading on top of this would be very good, or even, you know, just counseling session, like a six package counseling session could be really good. It's probably around the same price, and we can go into compatibility in that, and we can really focus in on the whole parenting thing, right? The psychology of it too. Anyways, so what I'm seeing, you know, with your kid, right? So he's got, you know, Venus and Neptune together in Pisces. That's the ultimate, like, Neptune. Think of Neptune as like the think of an artist, right? Let's think of an amazing artist. Like I'm talking like Elton John. I don't know why I thought of him, but like let's just think of someone like not Elton John, Bach, Beethoven, right? I don't know, or Van Gogh, whatever. Um, let's say that like Van Gogh, you know, he had to have at the same time. Where did that cup just go? What the heck? Hold on one second. I need to find something. I literally have a cup that disappeared. That's so weird. I need that. Is it here? Yes, it is. Okay. Um, I'm sorry for the interruptions. I'm just I'm just trying to create some tea. Um, and I thought I put tea inside this cup and the tea disappeared. Um, so yeah, so imagine like an amazing artist, right? Your son, he is that. The thing is, he's gonna be very susceptible to peer pressure. Um, Pisces is a sign of the chameleon. So when you have that much Pisces when you're growing up, you kind of want to be one of the cool kids, you know, and because you know it affects his sense of self. Um, Even though you and him have really positive karma, I'm guessing that's you. I mean, it could be his father. Um, there's one parent that has like kind of difficult karma, and there's one parent that has really good karma. And I imagine you're the one that has really good karma. Just an imagination. I mean, based on the fact that you're getting this reading, you're a Virgo, he's a Pisces, it just makes sense. Um, I'm not saying there's terrible karma with the father from what I see. I'd have to do like the composite and the synastry, but like yeah. So he's gonna be very gifted. You know, he could be like he literally has the same chart as me. So he could be an astrologer, he could be, you know, like the world is his oyster. Like he has unlimited creative potential because and you can see that cursor. Neptune here rules, like with Van Gogh, for example, I gave that example. That's like the part of Van Gogh that gives him that inspiration, right? That gives him that ability to like have those like just insane out of this world ideas of like, oh, I'm gonna, like just those ideas, that inspiration, that creativity. What else do you want to call it, the Venus, right, which is in Pisces, which is like maybe the best Venus position if we're really, really serious, especially for the arts. Especially for the arts. Venus in Pisces is so, so strong. In love, it's also very strong. However, we're definitely going to speak a lot about, you even mentioned his sensitive heart being broken. We're going to talk about that a lot. And since there's no follow-up, and I can never guarantee that, you said you were going to get a compatibility. I'm going to do this reading as if that's not going to happen. I do believe it will, but you can never be sure with finances and just how the world is. You can never be so sure. So it's better to just kind of do things with play the hand you're dealt. But I do hope that you do the compatibility and the follow-up, where the follow-up we could talk about all these readings. I could give you like a no extra cost extended follow-up where it like takes a little bit more time than the normal hour because we have a lot to talk about. But yeah, so basically like, oh man, like this chart is like so all that eighth house Pisces, right? It's like the energy. He's gonna be someone who's like he's gonna be so like, it's like I'm talking to myself here. Like he's gonna be so interested in the esoteric and like the things like the magic side of life is gonna be so interesting to him, right? Um, I'm gonna message you right now. Your child is so magical. I'm just telling you, he will be a lot like me. Different, but very similar. Yeah, so don't be surprised if your kid, I mean, and like the thing about me and about like people who have charts like me is that there's, yeah, and like your son is that there's a level of mutability, right? So Pisces and Sag are mutable signs. And we also have to talk, oh, there's so much we have to talk about. We have to talk about the sun square moon. Okay, so when you have a very mutable chart, first of all, like in his south nodes in Taurus, okay, so there like he's really like for him, he's gonna be a very, very spiritual person. I'll bet $1 million on that. It might not happen overnight. There might be some trials and tribulations, but God has a huge plan for this kid. So don't worry, Miss Virgo. And I'm sorry, I'm not patronizing you by that. I'm just like purely sarcastic and ironic when I say that. Like I deal with Miss Virgo, my mom, all the time, and my best friend's a Virgo. But like he might there might be like a period of time. Like I made my mom go through hell. Like I swear. But now she's, I mean, she should be more proud, but she's proud. Uh, I mean, I don't know how proud she is, but whatever. I mean, she is proud. I mean, I don't think she understands the extent of what I'm doing. I don't think anyone in my family really truly does. I don't think they want to, because I think there's like a level of like, if they really understood it, then they would feel like, I'm doing more than them, which I am. But that's a different story, and that has nothing to do with your reading. But basically, like your son, he is a sensitive old soul. Um, so I really gotta dig deep into my own childhood for this. This one's so deep. Oh my God. Let me meditate for a second. It's almost like what advice would I have given myself? Okay, so first of all, I said the thing about wanting to fit in, but feeling like okay, big download. I need my download crystals. So he might be so spiritually advanced, but he won't have a language for it. And he could be someone that goes through like existential crisis, like extremely young. Like someone who questions like who questions like life after death at an age that you're just like, how are you thinking about something so deep? But he might be really, really secretive about it because the eighth house rules secrets. That's how I was, right? I was questioning like, where do we go after we die? I would have like moments of really, really intense anxiety, like almost like depersonalization, where I would like not even, and I'm closing my eyes right now, I'm channeling right now. Like I wouldn't even see myself. Like I wouldn't, I would see life as this worthless, nihilistic thing that doesn't matter, and it was torture. I'd be having like a great time for weeks, for months, in a flow state, happy kid, and then it would all of a sudden hit me. I'm gonna die one day. What's all this? What's the point of any of this? This is really getting deep. And I'm sorry if this is too deep, but this is how your son's gonna be. So welcome. Welcome to the Pisces Sag Moon Club. Eighth house Pisces sun. So it's important to support him and to have these talks with him. I never had anyone who well, I hid everything, and he'll be like that too. He'll be very secretive. And there's a high chance that, he represses emotions and that he pushes away negative emotions. He'll be an inner well of optimism. With the Sag moon, he'll be very open-minded. He'll be an inner well of optimism. Like when something bad happens, he'll look for the I guess you could say, like, he'll look for the positivity in it. Which is a brilliant thing, but it can be problematic when you're not actually dealing with any kind of trauma or adverse childhood experience that comes up, right? Like for the example with the Saturn on his IC, that's speaking to kind of like, whether it's the father, the mother, whoever it is, being rather strict. And like maybe like there's like you as such a Virgo, like maybe here's a big download too. Maybe you need to give less structure to him and let him just be free. You need to do that because you as a Virgo, Virgos can be very controlling, and in parents they can be very worrying. It comes from love, but to a Pisces, they just feel that anxiety, they feel that worrying, they feel that, right? Like my mom, used to worry about me so much, and I was always fine, I was always good, minus when I took things too far. But like, she would, for example, like midnight curfew, like if I wasn't back, she'd be like freaking out, just freaking out. It's like, Mom, I'm literally at my friend's house, we're smoking, like like I'm not gonna drive drunk, which was a lie, but not that drunk. And this is high school. I was a way different person. But like, or I wasn't even driving most of the time. I was, I had someone else would drop me off. So I like to, and I would just sneak back out anyways. So he'll be very rebellious. He's so there's really like, and he's gonna be so smart. He's already so smart. He's gonna be such a genius that there's no way you're gonna be able to, like, he's gonna trick you. Like, so you might as well just give him what he wants because he's gonna get what he wants anyways. That's just how we are. Like if you want to like create rules around us, like we're gonna just trick you. like people with these charts, right? So I would like invest in like some kind of art class, or like get him to like have like a really like positive role models are super important, but you can't force it on him. Like I remember, this is so cathartic, this reading. God, I love this. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I just opened this chart. I didn't even have the birth info in, because I usually have the birth info in, and I had no idea. But I remember, like, I'm like okay, I'm a really talented musician, like naturally, like I could be a professional artist, but I never like put any effort into music. And my parents kind of noticed that I didn't really have much support, to be honest. Like I had financial support, I had like physical support, I had love, but I never had, you know, guidance, and I never had someone like that I really like my dad was very smart, very respectful, but you know, he wasn't spiritual at all. I never had, he wasn't artistic, like in the sense of like having manifested any of that. So I was always my own father. I always had to learn things on my own. I didn't have, I wasn't like this Instagram thing I saw the other day of like this fucking artist from some place whose parents, from some rich place in New England pushed him to study music and to become a big musician, and then there he is, 12 million followers, K-pop singer. I don't know. I don't listen to that music. Nothing against it. I just never really like have heard much of it. So, the point is that, like, one time they sent me to a piano teacher, and the piano teacher was the biggest nerd I've ever fucking seen. I had zero inspiration of wanting to learn the piano from that nerd. And I'm not judging. It was just, she was like, he or she, I can't remember. It was just such a like lame, like just boring, and had no passion, and no like, whatever, like nothing that really like showed me like the love of the music. And they forced me to go. It wasn't like, look, so you could explain to him parenting wise, like, look, you have something other kids don't. One day, if you actually start this early, Maverick, you can be a maverick in music. You have a natural gift. Look at this shit. Look at this. Fomalhaut on Neptune. Come on. So, divine inspiration. So it's about starting him early and getting him, like, making sure like, but okay, but as this is like the most cathartic reading I've ever done, because you are my mom and I am your son. This is fucking crazy. Don't try to control too much, but also show love. It's that fine balance. I know it's hard as a Virgo to not, to not worry, and to this, that. Everything that's going to happen to your kid's going to happen for a reason. He's going to go through many death, rebirth, transformations. He's going to have periods where he's a bad boy, probably. Maybe not. Maybe not. It's Chiron in Gemini. Let's see. No, it's in Pisces. So, another big thing for him is self-esteem. With Chiron and his Venus, and also in his Mercury and his Sun, he's a natural healer. He's made to be a healer. I bet you he does something like he either does something like professional artist, if he gets the right guidance. Like if you actually take him to like a cool teacher, like someone that's younger, and maybe like electronic music, like something that actually sounds good. Or, but although he does have his Venus in, in Pisces, which is a lot more smooth, so it could be like the violin or something. But like, come on, we live in a world where it's dominated by electronic music, and it's still the same kind of music. You can still learn, the piano, and you can still play beautiful electronic music that with violin samples and stuff like that. So I would just expose him to as much music as possible and just like keep throwing stuff at him. I mean, I don't know what your budget is for his creative exploits, but like I would just like, if this was my kid and I was you, I would just be like, all right, I'm a Virgo. Like I'm gonna what has he shown interest in? This is something we can talk about when we do our follow-up next month, hopefully. Like, and you have to remind me, like, what has he shown interest in? Because like when I was a kid, so a lot of times kids, they act kind of more like their moon sign. So I was always really competitive, always really into sports. Now, I really also really like I was really like I always felt really, as a Sag moon, way more connected to like Black culture, like hip hop, basketball. I always just like liked Black people more than white people. I know it sounds like reverse racism, but I just always thought they were like way cooler, and I liked their music, and even from the age of 5 or 6. And I loved basketball. It was my favorite sport. I played every day for 4 hours. So that was my outlet, right? Because for him, with all that existential, like deep death, rebirth, transformation, that shit's happening young for him. And so my outlet for me was like, playing basketball, like playing basketball and playing alone. And I had, like he has infinite imagination. Remember, infinite imagination. So like I used to like, and I'm talking about myself because this is like the examples, and you can create your own ideas of him. As a kid, everyone knew I was, like a genius. I'm a genius. Like I'm IQ genius. I mean, it's probably pretty obvious. Maybe not. I don't know. But like the whole point is like I was always like special, but like they didn't like really reveal that to me. I had to find it out on my own through taking the test on my own. And being in the top, like, what is it, point like zero, like really like the top. And I don't even like really believe in IQ like that. Um, where is it? So he might have something similar, although he doesn't have what I have, which is the Kazemi. One sec. So the Kazemi is what makes geniuses. He doesn't have that. He has actually combust between Sun and Mercury. But he could be someone who's very, very high IQ. But I think that I have a feeling that a lot of times what happens, like, is that IQ and that intelligence and that genius, like in my case, it was always hidden because everything in the eighth house is hidden. So I was always a hidden genius. Like people didn't know I was a genius. People didn't know that like that I had this side of me. And your son will be like that. So this is the big split, right? Because his ascendant in Leo, he's going to come off as a very gregarious, fun, like full of life, entertaining character. And with his moon in Sag, he's going to be the life of the party. Your son will party. I'm sorry to tell you this, Don. Your son is going to fucking party. He's going to love it. He's going to have a great time doing it. And it's going to be part of his journey. And he's going to be very popular. And he's going to probably like alcohol. It's just about, making sure that, I mean, I'm not for sure, but like, that's not for sure. That's a high likelihood that he, in high school, depending on the outlet, like if he finds an outlet that's good for him, then he doesn't need that. But like, with a Sag moon, you become a very competitive and a very ambitious person. So when that ambition gets channeled into like social life, so one thing my parents fucked up with is that they sent me to private school. I think that's a huge mistake on their part. Through first to eighth grade. all that did was so when I went to public school, unless you're gonna send him to private school forever, then that's fine, whatever. Like he's gonna get access to whatever he gets access to regardless, and then it really does depend on where you live. If you live in Palo Alto, I know I know how it is. My mom lives in Belvedere Island, Marin, so I get it. I don't know if that's where you're from or where you live. I have no idea. But we grew up in Portland, Oregon, because my mom didn't want us to grow up in Beverly Hills, which I'm so happy she didn't do, or she did do, because I see how people end up who grew up in Beverly Hills. No offense, but that's just the facts. It's very rare that you meet someone that has any soul from those parts. But yeah, so with the Leo part, so that's kind of what I'm saying, is that like people will see him as like this, like there'll be a lot of hidden like brilliance to him. Now he can use this to his advantage, because he can be like a spy, he can be like a very like he can be he'll be a social chameleon, right? Someone who can fit in every different social setting and group. Maybe acting is a great thing for him. Honestly, I would throw everything at, like, I would try acting, I would try music. What else? Those are the two main ones that come to my mind. Because with acting as a Pisces, it's a chameleon energy, and with all of that in the eighth house, it's like that. But then also, like, I could see your kid like going through like because like with all the eighth house sun, you tend to go through stages of your life where it's like stage one, like person, like you're this kind of person. Stage two, completely unrecognizably different, right? So with him, I could see it being the case that like when he's around like stage one, it's like whatever, like young. Stage two, it's like more like high school. Maybe he's like like socializing, expanding himself in that type of way, learning about himself, kind of being a rebel. So at that point, it's like, okay, well, like, don't do what my mom did. Like, don't like, if you're gonna if he's gonna be in public school, like I like he's like me. I was obsessed with basketball, but because I was in a private school and I had no competition, and I didn't get to like really play with like the players that would have been my high, well, they were, but barely my high school teammates, because I started smoking lots of weed in high school, and just caring more about partying, and I just gave up on every sport besides track, because I was really good at long distance running. But like the real sports I actually love, I kind of just like it was wasted potential. And as a Sag moon, there's a natural love for sports. Sag rules sports. It's a great outlet for him. So I mean, like, honestly, like, yeah, as a Pisces, he's gonna take on anything, but like he's gonna like, even if you try to shelter him your whole life, and you keep him in private school like forever, he's like, what's gonna happen when he goes to university? Like, imagine he's in private school forever, then he goes to ASU, or like even like like any school. Like, eventually there's only so much you can do to shield him. So it's almost like better to kind of get over with like younger, and to kind of give that freedom. Because what happens in Europe, right? Like, Europe, parents let their like there's no, like, you can, a 14-year-old could walk in the store and buy beer, because like there's the thought that like it's their decision, and if they're making their decision based on their agency, then they're gonna see that alcohol is pretty fucking stupid, and people only want things they can't have. The value, and like why Americans are like in college are so immature and so obsessed with alcohol culture is because they're not allowed to drink till they're 21. In Europe, by the time someone's in university, they've already done their party phase. They're serious. Yeah, they still go out like on weekends and stuff, but like they're real, like, if like drug party phase, if they really, not everyone has one, but like if they had one, was in high school, or like 18, around that age. Of course it's different. It extends for longer for different people. But the point is that by the time they're 21, they're a lot more mature than people in America. a lot more mature. It's not even like reasonably close. Oh shit, I just like seeped my green tea. I totally forgot to take it out, and it was in there for like 40 minutes. That would like be horrible. So yeah, so it's really, so like that's a big question. Is like, how do you want to raise him in that sense? Do you want to expose him to the realities of life young, to where he's able to make, to kind of blend in and find his circle? Because I always wished that my parents sent me to to the public school, even if it would have been kind of tough on me. I would have figured it out, and I would have made more authentic friends because I went to a public high school. And most of all, most importantly, I would have, been probably playing, I'm saying this like in a way, like not trying to sound arrogant. Like I'm very, very like transparent with what I'm good at. I'm not saying I would have made the NBA. I mean, that was my dream as a kid, and I'm a very determined person. So I played, like I was so good. I was like, but I have physical limitations. I'm a 5'11" white guy. But I think I would have played college basketball at the very, like not for sure. Like, if I could have been something like, but like, maybe like, the main point is that I would have taken so much joy in being a star for my high school team, and it didn't work out like that, because when I got to high school, I didn't know any of the kids. I had my best friend Gabe, luckily, who, he was like very popular, and very like he kind of showed me the ropes, and then I kind of figured it out. But yeah, like I was very like chameleon like energy, and I was very ready to kind of like let down my own things I cared about to fit in, right? Like I that's all I cared about, was like, all I just want to make it here. I was at this new place. It was like almost like I was like in this new world, where I'd been sheltered in this little fucking small school with 30, 40 kids, in my class, to now having the most crazy public high school in Portland, Oregon, downtown Portland, Lincoln High School, just like the most poppin', like, like it school in the whole state, pretty much, for sure, by far. It was the coolest school in the state, high school in the whole state, in terms of the party culture, in terms of like, the people that went there. And I really wanted to like make it. I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to be loved. I wanted to I wanted to win. And that's that thing in your kid's chart, is there's a really deep ambition to win. Um, Now, back to kind of what I was saying before about the split. Um, when you have, your sun sign in Pisces with a bunch of other planets in Pisces, and then you're rising, so how people see you in your moon, your emotional nature and fire, there's that fire versus water battle. Now, you're talking to the guy who understands and has had that play out in his life in so many ways. Now, I'll explain. One way this plays out is that, like, as a man, right, because fire is masculine, you can have a tendency to like give too much into your fire side, the side that's more outgoing, that's more about, you know, having fun and meeting people, and like expanding like, because Sag Moon, they always want to expand their social circle, like, like, just, it's like, it's in the fifth house. Come on, he's just like me. That's like literally made for partying. Sag Moon in the fifth house is made for having fun. Now the question is, can he channel that fun in a constructive way? Like, I believe if I had hip hop, which is what, like, one of my, natural main, like, real natural talents is hip hop, astrology. I'd say those are my two main, like, really natural ones. But the hip hop is the one that comes like really, like, without any effort. Like I put, like, I've only like freestyle rapped in my whole life. I've never actually I made one song that was like, not even like, I didn't write it. I just did it all off the top of my head in one take without one mistake, and it was actually a good song. That's the only time I ever tried. But like, imagine if I would have had like someone like a mentor or like someone that like my mom kept like bringing me to people, but they're always like, I'm just sorry to say it, they're always nerds. Like they're always like people that like I was like, I don't want to be like that person. Fuck that. So I wish she would have brought me. I wish I would have like the public school would have been a great idea, even though like you want to shelter the kid still. Like he's gonna see it anyways. Pisces are resilient. Pisces, Sag moon is life of the party. He'll be very, very funny, and he'll have a very likable and innocent vibe to him that will be very, very nice. And that creative side, he'll be such a romantic person. So romantic, right? Almost to a T. It's almost tragic, and not tragic in like a fucked up, horrible way. I mean tragic in the sense that, like, when you have Venus in Pisces, and don't worry, I'm gonna circle back around to everything that I've started talking about. This is kind of how I like to do things. I like to kind of say a little bit here, and then circle back around. But like, yeah, like with Venus and Pisces, that's the ultimate energy of highest romance possible, conjunct Neptune, like universal love. So he really needs to find a creative channel. Like finding a creative channel will save all this, because that will also meet his emotional needs of Sag moon in the 5th house. That's like the emotional need for creative expression, for so many things, right? Emotional need for creative expression, emotional need for just expansion in general. That's why you can't hold someone back like my parents did to me at a private school. You can't hold, like, he's gonna be very ambitious. So you can't hold someone back who's ambitious in a situation like that. It just doesn't work, like it just won't work. Like eventually they're gonna want to break out, and then when they break out, if you've held them back and if you've tried to control them, they're gonna, it's gonna be worse than if you just kind of said, you know what, son, or like, I'm gonna do my best, but at the end of the day, you're gonna do what you're gonna do. And I really hope that I've taught you well enough as a parent in my years of parenting you and teaching you things to know right from wrong, to know how to, like, for example, like respect women, and which I don't see any issue there. But like, to not make stupid decisions. Peer pressure, huge one. To not give in to peer pressure, like driving drunk, stuff like that. Like because like Pisces is not like such a strong energy, right? So like if he's in high school and he has friends who are like, let's say they're Aries or Capricorns or stronger energies, he can definitely kind of be like swayed into doing things he doesn't want to do, or like, if he joins the wrong group, the wrong clique, because Pisces is also all about escapism, right? Like I keep telling you this. So it's like if he it's all about finding that positive escapism. I know I said that many times, but I'll say it 15 more times, because like I saw one vision of him smoking weed and using that as like an outlet for all his Pisces energy. And some people, they need to go through that stoner phase. It's just part of life. Sometimes people, they need to go through a phase where they smoke so much weed, a ton of weed. But like, I went through that. I was lucky, and I hope that your son, if he does, and becomes someone. I haven't smoked weed in over a decade. Like I can't stand it. Like nothing against it. It just gave me like legit like schizophrenia. Like, so I can't really. It started making me feel like I was schizophrenic. After like 3 years of smoking or something, or yeah, so 3 more than that. Like, how long did I smoke weed for in my life? I smoked from 3 years of high school, or 4 years all high school, and 5 years I smoked weed in my life. So, yeah, I would definitely like think that, like, because what can happen with the weed and just any substances in general, especially like psychedelic stuff like weed and mushrooms and stuff, is that it can exasperate that potential existential crisis that can happen, right? Like because like I said, eighth house, he's gonna be so concerned with like he's gonna be really, really deep for his age. So, and the fact that he has Mercury retrograde natally means this is another super important thing. Thank God you got this reading. He might have a learning style that is not appropriate. So you need to watch this really closely. Like appropriate for like the school, the formal education system. Like he might be such an artist that he might actually require art school, like music school. He might, because like Mercury retrograde, it tends to like give people some issues when it comes to like learning in like the standardized way. Not to say that he can't do it. I mean, my brother has this and he did all right. But with all these other energies, it just means he's going to be a very deep, deep thinker. He might be someone who doesn't always communicate his thoughts. Like he might be like quite shy in his communication. His but then he has Mercury square Jupiter, which makes me be like, he might be like a big risk, he'll definitely be a big risk taker. Yeah, a big risk taker, huh? And he might be the kind of person that like puts too much on his plate, kind of how I do with my astrology, like where like I'm like, yeah, I can do this, yeah, I can do that, yeah, I can do this, yeah, I can do that, yeah, I can do this, yeah, I can do that. And then it's like before I know it, it's just like, wait, how many things did I just agree to? Like um how many lives did I just agree to do with how many people? Like how many posts that, how many, like things like that. Like how many days in a row did I decide? Did I like agree to do live in 3 hour readings, stuff like that. So he has to watch out for like taking too many risks. Um, but yeah, like this is like crazy stuff. So yeah, the battle of fire and water is definitely like about like there's a need for him to really like go like find a way for him to go into that more feminine side. So I'll give you the perfect, God, I'm like the perfect example for this kid. I was always like interested in astrology, interested in talking about deeper subjects, like I loved having one-on-one. He'll be like this too. Like I loved having like deep one-on-one conversations. Like I always preferred of course I liked going to parties in high school and stuff, but like I always preferred hanging out with like a friend when it was just me and my friend, as opposed to me and my friend and like a group of four. Because like in the group of four, I felt like there's a lot less realness and vulnerability. And when it was just one on one, I felt like people are more real, people will say things, like don't tell anyone the secret. Like, so he'll be like that, he'll but there'll be like a level of privacy to him where he'll be the kind of person that people come to tell secrets to, and he'll be a healer. So I was telling you about like the different phases of his life, right? After he's done with whatever phase, which yeah, I told you it could go the way of like the extreme, like amazing artistic outlet, or the way of like the kind of wounded healer, like where he uses substances. And I'm not referring to substances in the way of like being addicted to like heroin or something. I'm just saying like like just like hopefully normal high school stuff. I don't know. So after that, he might just have enough of it, and then he might start to like move towards spirituality, right? Kind of. I don't know if you bought my book, which you need to buy my book if you don't have it. Pisces Live 9 Lives, because it's gonna teach you so much about your sun. Like literally, you learn that. Buy that book. I only gain $3 for each time someone buys it. I literally don't care. It's about reading it and understanding like what I'm saying. I'm not talking about myself besides the first 2 chapters. But that book could be super, super helpful for him. I'm not joking. Like if he Like, and I think he's probably at the age where he's approaching the age. Let's see. Yeah, like, I mean, in a few years, he'll be able to really read that book. I mean, you could probably read it first, but buy that book. It's $20 on Amazon. Pisces Live 9 Lives, and please give me a 5-star review. I mean, if you want to, if you think it's a good book, which it is. But that book can help him a lot because he'll have like really deep spiritual questions, but he might not tell you that he has these. Like, I never told a single soul about my fear of death. So the first chapter in my book that's really important is called Overcoming the Fear of Death. Now, if you look at your son's chart, what house is everything in? The 8th house, the house of death, rebirth, and transformation. Now, because Chiron's there, and Mars, and Sun, and Mercury, and Venus, and Neptune, there's a ton of energy. And what happens is that there's a need to like really like dive deep into these esoteric like questions of like, where do we come from? Where are we going? Why are we here? And like, I would love to talk to him if he want, he's young, he's maybe too young. Let him live a little bit, let him be young. Let him be young. But if it ever gets bad to where like you feel like and you've already explained to me he's the darling. He's fine. Okay, come on. He's me, Sag Moon. Like, he's gonna be popular. He's gonna be super funny. He's gonna be life of the party, but like in a good way, not like in a way that's messed up. Hopefully, I have worse trauma than him. Showing the chart that I see, he doesn't have any of the fucked up aspects. Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. He's fine. Unaspected Mars though in Pisces, so that's like yeah, he could really run with this creative stuff. Also, like, I don't know if there's any inheritances or like, if he's interested in, because Pisces could be like really random, like they can like work, they can like work, like they could like literally just like be like, I want to do investment banking, so yeah, and I think I'm really gonna focus on his chart for this reading. Like, I'm gonna bring it back to yours too, but like I know intuitively what you want out of this reading, and there's a lot to this chart, a lot. So yeah, basically, with all your Virgo, right, where does that fall? It falls in the 2nd house of self-esteem. So that means that you, the best way you can parent is by helping reinforce his sense of self. Now I'm going to put myself on camera to say this because I need to repeat that. So the best way that you can be the best parent is by reinforcing through actions and words, Virgo is words, his sense of self. Because as a Pisces, he might have a very fluid and foggy understanding of who he is. Even if he's great and everyone else sees that, he might not see it. He might not see it. So that's massive. This is trippy. I've been talking about these phases of his life. Like, he'll look back on it and he'll feel like it was an actor playing him at these different phases. Like, 'cause he's gonna go through such dramatic changes of death, rebirth, transformations. He's like a snake that's gonna be constantly shedding skin, not constantly like every year. Like, he's gonna have, his life will be many different eras, and one of them will be a very, very spiritual era. With his Chiron in the 8th, and Mercury retrograde, there can be some like feeling inadequate sexually. But also like he's gonna be so empathetic that it's a double-edged sword. Like he's gonna really need to spend a lot of time alone. So you're gonna need to explain to him like that he is so in touch with like the painful undercurrents of the world. You need to explain to him, son, like the way that you feel things is not how other people feel things. I when I was growing up, or kind of going through that process, like I remember everyone used to always say like it's all in your head, Jesse. It's all in your head. When I would like feel things that other people didn't feel. Weird noise downstairs. Whatever. If it's an intruder, it's an intruder. So yeah, basically like he'll be way more sensitive to the subtle energies of life, and to you know to the little things. So it could really benefit, for him to understand that he has that, and that like he needs alone time. That he needs alone time to truly be in his recharge his batteries. Like that is massive. And that took me forever to know, because Pisces lack boundaries. So that's why my thing that I'm worried about, not really worried, because it's like it's me. Like, but I nearly died. I nearly died. If you read my book, you'll see that I nearly died. I should be dead. I got really into like Xanax and drugs like that. Not like anything like heroin or any street drugs, but I got really into prescription drugs and alcohol and partying. I took it way too far. But like I also had Pluto on my IC. He has Saturn, and my Pluto is square. It nodes. His Saturn it's not as bad as Pluto on the IC. But he does have like a lot of similar stuff to me. So yeah, addiction is definitely something he needs to watch out for. So that's when I keep going back to like, what is positive escapism? What's negative escapism? So really think about that, right? I'm trying to think of an idea. So sports, if there's any sports, if he's athletic and he likes sports, that's a great thing, because that being part of a sports team, it gives you like a feeling of self-esteem and a feeling of oneness, right? Because Pisces is all about oneness. So when you're part of a sports team, like a basketball team or a football team, by football I mean the real football. I don't really not American football. I don't think you should let him play that, because it's CTE, really really bad for his brain long term. But I would say like basketball or whatever he likes, track, whatever, doesn't matter, lacrosse, who knows. Being part of a team will be great for him, because it'll give him that sense of family, that sense of oneness, that sense of acceptance, and that's massive. But yeah, like there's definitely an emotional need to travel. So if you're able to take him to different cultures, I'm gonna go back to the chart, go back to my meditation mode. So if you're able to do that, to kind of take him around the world and show him like different cultures, that would be great. But eventually he's gonna do that. I nearly say eventually he's gonna do that with his music. But I don't want to make predictions. Just look. I'm gonna say this again. When you have these two planets together, your imagination and your artistic ability are linked. When they're in Pisces, they're in the highest energy of it. And when Chiron's there, he heals through his own art. So that's why it's so important. I'm not like off camera, because I need to say this like in this tone with my face. That's why it's so important for him to have that creative outlet, because he can heal others, but most importantly, well, not most importantly, equally importantly, he can heal himself through his own creative ability. It's like art therapy. He needs to find his version of art therapy. But yeah, he's gonna be like his dream life and like his intuitive life. Like you should listen to this kid. Like when he tells you about his dreams, like this guy can have like prophetic dreams and stuff. Yeah, so very, very interesting. I don't want to talk about love. I don't want to talk about love. Well, it's not that bad. I'm kind of hyperbolizing. Um, I'll say one other thing though. Pluto in the sixth house, basically like it's about like service and how in this life he's really meant to be of service to humanity. And that there's a powerful link between his body and his mind, and that if he overexerts himself or if he does things that are very, very, bad, like psychologically, that he can get very sick from those. So that's why mental health for him is major, major, major. So that's leading me to love. And I'm not done with all this stuff. We got a long reading ahead of us. Like, this is a focused fucking reading on this special, special child. Like, your chart can wait. I mean, I'm gonna talk like you just told me, you said I know my chart pretty well. Maybe you can tell me some other things. Okay, I'll do that. But I know like what's important here, right? This is what's important. So when you have Venus right here, am I showing you the chart? No, I'm not. God, I just like I want to feel into this more. I need this one crystal that I never use. I feel like this is the crystal. And I'm gonna get my pendulum out. I just want to try something really quickly. This might not work. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. I'm doing some pendulum stuff, and I can't show you on camera what I'm doing because it's fucking weird. All right. Right now, I'm doing a prayer that the correct answer comes to me for the question I'm going to ask in my head. Okay, please show me yes. Now, please show me no. Please show me no. They're not doing it right. Okay, I need to have this like this. Oh, fuck, I just broke my pendulum. Did I break it? Yeah, I just broke my pendulum, I think. If this is broken, no, I can just push this back on the floor. God, that's such a cool idea. I've never done a pendulum reading before. I mean, I have, but not like in this way. Obviously, I have, or when I've done it. Okay, I fixed it, I think. Yeah, I fixed it. Okay, so I know your Virgo might be like, what the fuck is this Pisces doing? But this is how your sun's going to be, so get used to it. You probably are already. Okay, please show me divine magic for the sake of Dawn and Maverick to understand this part of the chart that is very important. I'm going to say it in my head. I'm not going to say the question out loud. Please show me what yes looks like. Thank you so much. Now, please, Spirit, show me what no looks like. Thank you so much. Okay, my hands, I'm trying not to shake them. keep this still. Okay, first question. So for Maverick, I'm gonna ask in my head. Okay. So it's saying like not necessarily singing, but it wasn't like really so decisive. Okay, well, let's ask this question. Okay, I got an answer. So all that spirit is telling me through that is that it's not telling me what the creative outlet is, but it told me that there is some special type of creative outlet that is meant for him, and that he is gonna have to find it through trial and error, and that he can be really special in that creative outlet, and it can save him from a lot of the bullshit of hedonism, which is very possible in this kind of chart. I wouldn't worry about him like if he's able to find that. Like, I really wouldn't worry about him in a sense. I mean, he's definitely be a very social person. I mean, look, his Jupiter is in 11th house. I'm still sharing, right? Yeah. So that is like the ultimate popularity. So don't worry about him. Like, if anything, he'll be too popular. And if anything, peer pressure might be an issue where he, might like, come on, guys, hit this joint, everyone, that kind of stuff. And it might be really hard for him to say no as a Pisces because he really wants to fit in. But the issue is that like he might go through a stage, which is natural, where he, is kind of just finding himself, and maybe, hanging out with a specific type of person or people, a group, maybe it's like the popular crowd, the jock crowd, maybe it's like, the more musical, but like what would be really cool for him, my vision is if he, like found like I think the best thing for him is to be in the same system, like school system, throughout his whole life, like until like from like, like until high school, like end of high school. Don't make the same mistake my parents made. um if that's not possible, it's not possible. It's not the end of the world. Because like, well, actually, like with that said, okay, actually, I have to add this about that statement. The fact that he is a Sag moon, that means that that he loves change. He's going to be someone who actually does love change. So, like, there is a possibility that what I just said is incorrect, actually, which is, I'll admit it. So, like, yeah, there's a possibility that but like I'm just saying more from like the perspective of like trying to like have the most solid potential outcome, because everything is probabilities at this point, right? I'm saying that like having him like be where he can like make friends like at a more authentic young age, you know, and and not have to scramble and try so hard. That's important. And maybe he'll you know meet friends like if it's a bigger school and a good area, you know, that have similar interests, you know, like public schools are where it's at. Like I mean, it's not like you learn anything anyways. I mean, who remembers anything they learned in high school? It's high school is purely a social process. It's the whole point of high school is that it's, I mean, yeah, you're learning to be, it's more about, yeah, if you learn a language, that's awesome, you know? If you find something you're passionate about study-wise, really great, awesome, even more awesome, you know? If you join the school band, you know, like he could, and you realize like, shit, I'm fucking badass at music. It just comes so easy to me. Um, I don't know. I would get him into like, I would see if he like, cause so, okay, so with his Uranus, okay, so is there any Aquarius? No. So he's not really like me. The one difference we have is that I'm way more like Aquarian. So like my level of like the art that I appreciate is a lot more like electronic technology based, future based. For him, it could be like something more smooth, more romantic, like you know, like a more like a spiritual kind of music, you know, a more like not spiritual, more like smooth, kind of like slower and Pisces and just like Mika, stop beefing. Okay, I have to start running my cats. Both of you guys, you know the punishment. 2 hours in my room together. Get Mika, get over here. Bad Mika. Felix, you're spending 2 hours in that room with Mika. You guys wanna chase run around my house and be bad? Like, I can't even talk right now. Stop it, Felix. Where are you? Esmond, oh my god. I'm sorry, he's running away from me. I have a big apartment, so god damn it. Felix, come here right now. You're spending 2 hours with Mika for what you did. Where are you? What room did you go in? God. One bad thing about having a big apartment is that where is the cat? I know you're in here, Felix. Oh my god. Felix, I'm not mad at you. You're just in trouble. I see you, Felix. Nice try it. You smack at the cat, you sleeky. Felix, stay. I'm not mad at you. I mean, I am mad at you. Come on, Felix. You're staying 2 hours with Mika, and I'm not gonna let you guys out. Esme, you're the best cat in the world. You stay out of the beefs. Felix, you are going with Mika. You guys are staying in my room, and you guys are gonna get along. And you better not fight in my room, or I'm gonna be really, really mad. And I'll give you guys food. Oh, the door's open. Great. 1 second. Sorry. I'm so sorry about this. Felix, stop. Stay. Mika, don't go in the hot tub. Oh my god. Mika, get over your fear, Felix. Stop yelling, Mika. Jesus. Oh my goodness. Get inside. Oh, now you're attacking him. You see? You think no one notices you, little Scorpio moon? You guys stay here together? Stop, Mika. Stop. I'll bring you guys some food. I'm sorry about this. Esme, you're a good girl. You get to stay outside, and I'm gonna give you some food too. But you get the light food. No, I just fed you guys the hard food. I mean the wet food. Sorry. My cats are just, they're going through some things. No, wait, Esmond, this is a bad idea. You're on a diet, and I'm not gonna let you just eat all this food. Okay, you get like literally 30 or 20 granules. This is very Virgo of me. You know, I know Virgo. Don't try to come out because you're staying here for 2 hours, maybe 3, maybe even 4. You guys both have food. You have a nice room. Be friends. You guys are you guys are siblings. Stop being enemies. I know you guys are actually friends. I see you guys together, like right now, when no one's watching. You guys are friends, and whenever people are watching, big cinema. So stay together. I think I'm a pretty good parent. You see that? That's called tough love. If they fight, I'm just gonna throw them in the room together. They're gonna hate it, but maybe they'll be better. Where was I? So yeah, basically, like, this kid has mad creative potential. You have to watch out for his, you have to explain to him about, you have to teach him about boundaries, about saying no, about how in life, okay, this is very important. I need to turn my camera on for this. Like, you need to tell him, and I don't know where the father is or what the deal is with the father, but like, I think the father needs to say this because it needs to come from a man, not like anything with men and women, and it could come from you too, but like, he needs to be like, look, son, there are people in life who succeed and people in life who do not. People who smoke marijuana in general do not succeed. The chance of success of someone who smokes marijuana, like, yes, you can do it recreationally, in school or whatever. But realistically, the chance, especially because he's going to have a very addictive personality. I'm just saying that because, like, eighth house, Pisces, escapism. Like, there's a very high chance that when he gets that taste of that substance, that it's hard for him to not just do it here and there. While for his friends, it might be easier. So he needs to know that, right? And you, as a Virgo, can't worry like about it. You have to like explain it. That's why the father has to play a part. And I'm sorry if like there's something that happened to the father, or if there's like some really fucked up relationship with the father. I'm sorry if I'm saying this. I'm just saying that this is what the astrology is telling me. Let me actually see one thing. I guess I'm doing this on camera. They keep saying yes about the substances. Not that it's like written in the stars that he's going to have an addiction problem, that he's very susceptible to peer pressure and very susceptible to substances. And the more you try to pull him away, he's so fucking smart that you know, he will get what he wants. So it's all about just the parenting and the ability to have the father sit down and be like, look, son, like, like there's people who are successful, there's people who are not successful. And a lot of what you do early in life affects, your outcome later. Like, and like, that's only one part. The second part is about boundaries. Like, son, like, you have the kind of personality, like, you are someone who feels everything that other people don't feel. You feel when someone else is sad, you feel their sadness, right? You literally feel it. When someone else is happy, you feel their happiness. When a whole group of people is negative, you feel that inside yourself, and sometimes you can even think that that's yours. So when you're around someone, now we're segueing to love, but we'll do that in a sec. When you're around someone who has a negative energy, teach him about energy. He'll be naturally like he'll gravitate towards it naturally. And be like, also this is something that your friends, you they might not understand. So it might be something that's better to just keep to yourself, or maybe if you meet a friend that understands this, because he's you're a lot deeper than a lot of the other kids, but that you will be affected more than most of your friends, unless your friends are like you. Or don't say that part, last part, but like in your head, unless he has lots of Pisces friends. But that you have, like on one end there's that, but on the other end there's this amazing ability to feel people's pain and to help people. And I don't know if you guys are gonna raise him religiously or spiritually, but like with understanding God and whatnot. I would really raise him in a way of open spirituality. My parents never forced religion on me. In fact, they didn't force anything on me. I would have conversations with him of depth. Now he might be very closed off to it, and like not like there might be like a wall that comes up, but it could be the opposite, could be like, son, like, this is something I learn about a lot. Like, what do you ever have thoughts about, like what, I don't even know how to fucking word this. Like, I guess it kind of like what, like where we go after life. And you might be really surprised, like what the meaning of life is. Like, you might be really surprised by his answers. You might be like, God damn, this kid knows things. And it's all like accumulating because his North Node's in Scorpio. So he's being pushed. Like, North Node is like the metaphoric mountain never climbed in past lives. So he's being pushed towards that death, rebirth, transformation, right? That's the thing with this chart, is that in past lives, he's played it too easy. He's played it too close to the what's the expression? Too close to home. Not enough risk taking, right? Like not enough of that that energy of allowing yourself to kind of also like merge with other, like completely merge with a partner in the most like intimate and romantic way. So I'll go back to the chart. I'll use some weird, I was gonna say voodoo stuff, but it's not voodoo. It's just me getting in touch with my intuition, because it's a really important reading for me. Put this on my third eye. This on my throat. This on my third eye. And so, okay, let's talk about that. Stellium. About that. So I'm very grateful, and he has what I have. That he will be organized. Like, he'll be more organized than most Pisces are, in the sense of like his thoughts and his like Pisces sometimes can be a little bit messy, but I don't really see that like being the case for him, because Saturn's trining his well, I guess maybe it's trines his Venus, so that's really, really good also for like being able to keep long-term relationships. But it makes it so like not necessarily like, it makes it that like he can have like, it's also really good for like, I think he could be an astrologer, honestly. Like, I could see him totally being an astrologer. because Saturn and Venus is astrology, and it rules like beauty and old age. So he'll have a very nice old age, but also, he'll be very organized, and look for relationships that cover a number of things, right? But he'll have the ability, like once he's found like that solid foundation of relationship, to have long lasting like karmic relationships that have like this sort of glue to them, where they tend to just stay together even through the tough times. But yeah. And the same goes for his communication and his just sense of being. You have Saturn aspecting all those planets. So and his healing. So I mean, like he definitely has like some like he's gonna have more structure and more like authority and more ability to manifest physically than most Pisces do. Like I have this also, and you see what I'm doing, um like like I'm very very organized and very clean, so it's really really good for not just being that kind of Pisces that's just always in the, because some Pisces can just be like stuck in the dreamland, so I don't see that being the case. So Saturn's really doing nice things here, even if it's 11 degrees from the IC, which is kind of far, and it's conjunct the north node, so that's interesting also. That's kind of saying how he's meant to like really become his own father in this lifetime, and to become like almost an authority figure for himself and for his own spiritual progression and death rebirth transformation. um so yeah. So yeah, I talked about Pluto in the sixth and how that's like, heavily linked to being of service, and that being really important, and moving away from the me and moving to the we, in terms of how he looks at the world, how he helps the world. And I could definitely see him being a psychologist. I could definitely see him being any kind of healer possible. I could definitely see him being any kind of artist. An investigator, like someone like someone who's like he'll be someone who's very interested in like the. Of life. It just has to do with how much he's willing to, I guess you could say, like risk in that regard. Like in my book, I told you there's a chapter, the fourth chapter, first chapter after I speak about, I explain my life story over 2 chapters. It's called Overcoming the Fear of Death. It happened at 26 to 25, 7 years ago or so, and that was like what changed my life. Like one class of my school in Europa changed my life, because I learned that like death doesn't exist, and that chapter can be very, 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 very healing for, like, that energy, that understanding can be very, very healing for him at some point. But yeah, like creative expression, I already did the pendulum for that. So there's something special for him. So it's about just continuing to try and find new things. And then the vertex is also there. So the doorway to higher awareness is through that exact same portal of traveling. So he's gonna be someone who's gonna want to have friends from all different countries, all different worldviews. He might be like me and move to a different country. Um, Either way, he'll want to travel physically or metaphorically, right? Metaphorically meaning like kind of having access to lots of different types of philosophies from different types of people. And traveling physically meaning you taking in places. And I'm not talking about like resorts, like going to Hawaii on a fucking resort. That's like you're not that's nothing. I'm talking about real cultural experiences that'll mean the world to him as a kid. The absolute world. And he might not integrate it till later, but like taking him and I also do astrocartography readings. I do also couples astrocartography readings. So that's like, I'll just show you a brief example. I don't know if you've like really gotten into astrocartography or not, but like the couple ones are a little bit more complicated, but I still love doing them. Couples could be like you and him. It can be anyone, any two people, right? It's not just like romantic, obviously. But for example, like a great place for him is this line right here, this gray line that goes over Cincinnati, like it goes over the middle of like, is that Tennessee, Kentucky, and it goes right past Atlanta, ATL. So that's a great place for him, Atlanta. And like this part of Florida is in this like St. Pete over here, like Tallahassee, like that's awesome. And then also this line is great too. So anything between these two lines is outstanding. Wow. So Chicago would be great. Could be, and in terms of education, I mean, this is a reading you kind of have to get, but because I have to like really do more research. But if there's a school, I believe there's a school in Greensboro, North Carolina. Isn't there a university in Greensboro, North Carolina? Let me check. Yeah, UNC, University of North Carolina, Greensboro. Oh, is that not a big one? Yeah, I don't know. UNC Greensboro. I don't think that's that good of a school. Let me see. Like, okay. So either I'm just saying that like okay, I'm gonna read the Wikipedia. Let me just see. Yeah, so it's a legit university. Very big for research, which the eighth house is all about research. Let's see. But it's not bad. I mean, they've got it ranked as like US News and like the ARWU is ranking it between 191 and 206 best college. This is in the world or I don't know. Globally, it's like it's around like 600 to 800. Basically, the point is this: it's not the best freaking school, but he has crazy energy there. He has a crossing line, a sun and Mercury. And this isn't that reading, so message me if you want to get this reading done. I can do it for both you guys together, individually, or in the group. Where the hell did my thing just go? Okay, there it is. Anyways, back to what I was doing. Yeah, he should go to that school or schools around that line. And you text me. I'm texting you right now. I'll send you a photo. I guess I should have included this one too, because this one I was using a lot. Maybe I'll put this in my story. You like your Virgo-ness is like, I understand you, Jesse. Okay, oh, I need my charger. What a cool photo. I'm definitely putting that. It's like, I might even post this photo. Although I did, no, I'm not gonna post it. Maybe tomorrow. Sorry, Esme. Esme, I'm sorry, baby. You're the best cat. You don't fight, and when you do, you don't make a big fuss about it. Here's Esme, by the way. She's the winner of my challenge, Team Esme. And you saw why she deserved to win. You know, she's such a good girl. She stays on my lap. I had to kind of move her off my lap, but she's on a diet now. Esme. So cute. I don't think you heard that though. Anyways, okay, so we're making lots of ground. I'm gonna tell you something also. Like I'm really focusing on him, less on you. Like I am really going deep, deep, deep into him. But still touching, on how you can parent and help. Now, your moon also was, let's go back. I can just memorize your chart really quickly. Yeah, because you had all those planets, everything was in Virgo, so it doesn't really matter. But you also had a little bit of Libra, and okay, the Mars, that's what I was trying to remember. The Mars and the North Node is also in, why don't I just take a photo? I can just, I'm a bit tired, and I think I lost my photographic memory, unfortunately. Through the years, used to have one. Probably come back. I think it's just because I'm doing too much stuff. It's like it's hard to like. Let me see. Yeah, it's foggy. Actually, okay. So North Node is in Virgo. So you're in this lifetime. You're really trying to. Ooh, and you have your Jupiter conjunct your boy my ascendant. So that's interesting. That's a really nice aspect between me and you. That's showing why you found me, why you feel drawn to me. It's almost like, yeah, I'm not gonna get into it, but it's good. It's really good energy between me and you. Like we expand each other. Like like I teach, like we kind of both teach each other in a weird way. And then our sons are opposite. So yeah, we have some stuff going on for sure. Okay, so I have your chart here, but I wanted to like post this. But yeah, so I'll just have your chart on my phone. I think that's a smart idea, right? One second. I was just looking at, I'm trying to like post this thing. I looked at my poll, cutest sign slash energy, Pisces won. I vote for Cancer because of Esme. Yeah, Pisces is the cutest, it's true. Okay, so I need one sec. Hold on. Hey, so yeah, you're Sagittarian like me. So literally like one thing with like new friends or whatever, like literally never ever worry. Like I'm Venus, Mars, and Aquarius. I'm the worst at messaging back. Like I have a huge issue. I know you haven't followed me. You followed me for a day, but um like literally like never worry about it ever with me because like I'm the exact same way and I get really stressed and lots of anxiety when um like I'm like fuck I have like this person I really like but I'm not answering them because I have so much stuff going on and so just only answer me when you feel like answering me. And it's nice of you to reach out and say that you didn't forget. But yeah, I'm in the middle of a reading. So yeah, hope maybe you'll message me after I'm done with my reading and we can talk some more. All right, later. Hope you're good. This is like a really good astrologer. Like really, really good. And we're becoming friends. Her name is My Moon Girl Readings. She's actually kind of pretty too. I mean, I'm taken, but like, she's not. Uh, yeah, she's a good looking girl. But that's not what I care about. You see, I'm friends with. I like being friends with girls. I'm not like one of these guys who's like. And this is like things I'm saying are like things that like your son will reflect. That's what's ironic about this all. Um. So okay, how do I say this photo? How the fuck do I? Excuse me. I'm just looking for something really quickly. Okay, so let me freaking save this. Jesus Christ. Okay, screen. No, oh my God. Finally, I'm actually gonna post it in my actual Jessiness and Astro page. Okay, there we go. Sorry for doing this. I could have literally pressed pause, but I feel like it's like we need a pause. We need to just sit for a second, sit with what was said, what's been said. But yeah, so it's just such a heavy karmic energy, in the sense that like you really like it's very like high stakes, you know. It's like you really like need to know, kind of like you really need to like show him a lot of stuff. But yeah, with your chart, it's pretty straightforward. You know, you have all that Virgo, and then you have the Libra energy, so you have to kind of watch out for like the people pleasing and love. Not many aspects. Moon square year, Neptune, that's a big one. That's like you know, like it can create all kinds of delusions around your emotional nature. And it can create lots of mental confusion and difficulty with seeing yourself. But really, for you, it's about getting through perfectionism and learning self-compassion. But like, as I said, like, do we really want to focus on you right now? You're a past life mystic. In this life, you're really trying to learn independence, even though you have a tendency to be potentially a little bit codependent. It's about learning how to have practical relationships that help serve your independent purpose. And you're someone who's Mars in Cancer, who's very defensive. And yeah, one sec. And this has been the last 1 sec. Sorry. I'm just posting that photo. One sec. You know, actually, I'm just gonna. I need to look up something for this reading, so I'm gonna put this on a pause. Okay, I figured it out. So yeah, basically, like there's a certain level, you know, in your chart. It's so cold in here. In your chart of like really like trying to move. So you guys have like, so basically like your south node in Virgo. We'll go more into this. This is more like compatibility kind of area, but like I'll just say it, like basically like you have past life energy in Pisces. So you're definitely able to kind of help him navigate, but in this life you're trying to become a lot more practical, a lot less kind of dreamy. While for him, it's like way more about, and I'll go back to the chart. It's way more about like, you know, integrating all this Pisces energy and this death rebirth transformation and moving. I still haven't talked about love. That's coming right next. And moving into like a very solid like transformation that takes place like very, very deeply internally, right? Very deep internal change. And also a big part of his karma is conquering issues with his father, because that's his father. I'm happy I caught that one. So yeah, the Leo rising, do I really need to talk about it? I mean, like it's ruled by his son. So people with Leo rising, they always feel like they have like a very special purpose in life. And you look at like what house the sun's in to kind of understand that. So in this case, in the 8th house, you know, it could be like high spirituality, it could be benefiting from other people's resources, but whether it's like being like a financial advisor. I used to want to do real estate, by the way, investments and stuff. Or you know, something like you know, like 8th house is also very, very tantric and all about like these like deeper studies of the psyche and transpersonal psychology, all kinds of psychology, right? So I see him like eventually like merging to that area, especially with Neptune in the 8th house. That gives him like access to the collective unconscious. Neptune or Venus there, that gives him like a real ability to kind of like, it's almost like in this area of life, the 8th house, you know, which like think of it like a, not like a graveyard, but think of it like a kind of like a dark graveyard-esque area where people are very afraid to go to. Imagine him having like not only like a coat that's super warm and comfy, but like a lantern and like a like a really good flashlight, lantern, and like a protective cloak over him. That's kind of what it's like for him. He's really, really protected spiritually. Chiron, like I said, there might be some pain around his connection with the divine that he needs to kind of fix. And Mercury retrograde, like I said, you know, he might be someone who's quite introverted and who has trouble like communicating, which can have relationship issues. Now, speaking of relationships, you know, in Mars and in Pisces, of course, is like, you know, really, really driven towards you know, being humanitarian. But there can, like, one issue also he has to watch out for with his lack of no lack of fire, lack of air and earth, is he might really have trouble, like I have my whole life, with grounding. And in his case, lacking earth and air, grounding and kind of seeing other people's perspectives. So when he gets of age, like doing breath work, taking him on hikes, very important. Anything where he can be very high altitude, really, really good, like skiing, stuff like that, getting fresh oxygen, clean oxygen. But yeah, like he has to really watch out for like kind of pent up anger, because like a lot of Pisces energy, like Pisces people can have a lot of trouble expressing their rage and their anger they have, so that's really important too. Now, but yeah, there's definitely a special purpose for him, and the pendulum confirmed that. And yeah, and the Sag moon, like I said, like emotional need for variety and in relationships, it's like there's an emotional need for freedom. So he'll definitely need someone who's you know, giving him freedom, who's not trying to like control him and manipulate him, and he might be attracted to someone from a different culture. Now with Venus there, he'll be the ultra romantic. Now you have to watch out though, that he will like he's meant to kind of go through, so like it can go both ways, Chiron conjunct Venus. Like Usually, the way I would look at that is that he'll be very, very intense lover. Someone who's like not looking for like that basic kind of love. Like he's looking for like the ultimate soul bonding eighth house kind of love, right? So not everyone will have that, and I imagine that he might go through some painful experiences, potentially, early on in that area, but that ultimately those are gonna like add to his art and his creativity if he has that, right? So then another way to look at it is that Venus on Chiron is giving someone like a really amazing ability to heal other people. Honestly, like it could be like healing, like I said, healing other people through their voice, healing other people through their art, like no joke, or through whatever like healing modality. But he's a natural born healer. That's 100% sure. He has Sun conjunct Chiron too, and Mercury, so he'll like to talk about healing, and healing will play a huge part into his core personality and life purpose. Now, what else? So yeah, so in relationships, of course, you're gonna need someone as an eighth houser who's very intense and who's down to go down to the depths with you. Maybe they don't have to experience it themselves, but at least someone who's very solid in that respect, right? Someone who's very solid and who, like doesn't like take his sensitivity as some weakness, but actually sees it as an extremely beautiful thing, like you do. Maybe like Virgo energy would be very good for him because he lacks Earth, so it's the opposite sign. So I could see him like really doing well with like a Virgo. But the fact that he lacks air, that speaks more to like lacking. So I think one thing that he might struggle with is especially with the combustion of his sun and his Mercury is lacking objectivity. So he might see life like through a very subjective lens, and kind of even though he's like a complete empath, he might be a little bit stuck in his own head, especially with the Mercury retrograde. So he might have like lots of ruminating thoughts, some possible issues of depression. So that's like why like there's that deep need, because like Pisces people is ruled by Neptune. Neptune is basically heaven. So when they come into Earth, which is like this horrible place in lots of ways, they're used to like as souls like being in the realms of like perfection. So imagine like you come from like an amazing vacation in paradise to this shitty fucking place. Like you're gonna be pretty pissed off, and you're gonna think, okay, like what are some ways that I can feel like I'm back on that vacation? That's why there's that old adage of like the mystic and the drug addict exist in the same waters. The mystic just learns to swim in them, while the drug addict drowns. That's the ultimate quote for this kind of energy in this chart, Pisces. But yeah, the Sag Moon, life of the party, as I said, and it's going to help him a lot with this, the socialness. But kind of like not rounding out, but kind of because there's still some sort of cover. The importance of understanding like that split is, I still have therapy that I talk about. My Pisces, I call it Pisces. Literally, like I literally call it Pisces side versus Sag Leo side. Sag Leo side, it wants to be social, it wants to go out, it wants to do this and that. Pisces side, it wants to sit inside, meditate, and just like be peaceful and I guess like be more in touch with its feminine side. Sag Leo side, it wants to party, it wants to have fun, it wants to laugh, it wants to be more masculine, it wants to like watch sports, it wants to go to festivals, it wants to do that kind of stuff. These days, because Neptune, so that's another thing also is with your sun. I would also, I know I'm like recommending every reading, but I would recommend like a current astrology reading, just solely for the fact that he is definitely like, I would have to like look further into it, but he's definitely been going through some hardcore transits of Neptune on like Neptune, and you too. So both of you guys have been going through these crazy Neptune transits, because you're Virgo, he's Pisces, like in essence, right? So opposite signs. So yours would be more difficult, but 1 second, I'm going to for a second. And one cat is on the bed, the other cat's probably in the closet. Let's see. Yep, Mika, you're so cute. They're so funny. They're so funny. But yeah, so like you guys, like I would recommend that reading, but I mean, you know, it's all up to you and your budget and whatnot. I can definitely do big discounts, but my biggest recommendation for people, I mean, for you, I would definitely focus more on like the compatibility. Like if you had to choose between like doing a current astrology reading, but which is a live reading I do, and compatibility, if it's like a choice of like one of the two, I would definitely choose the compatibility plus follow-up, and I will give you like a nice sizable discount on that compared to my price, which is already on sale on my website. Because that reading, it really takes a lot of time, like time for me. Like I actually pay. I talked to my friend who's an expert in this the other day, and I was like, because I really take these seriously. Like, so they all end up being A+ readings. But it requires more work. Like kind of like this, like birth chart readings. I can look at nothing. Like even this reading, I didn't have to look at anything because it was just like, it's two birth charts. It's mainly one in parenting. Like this comes very naturally to me. I love doing these readings. It comes super naturally, and it's my own fucking chart. But like with compatibility, that's a whole new game. And that's why it's my most expensive reading, because it's basically like, if you think of like me charging like what I like charging something like a certain price per hour, if you want to think about it like that. Compatibility, it's like there's a long time that I'm working before I actually even start the reading. I'm looking at like so many different things, and because like it's very easy in a compatibility chart to get lost and to lose the client. So you want to have like a level of like key points. Of course, yeah, you can go into the composite and kind of analyze it in your own way, but at least like when it comes to like like different asteroids, and just kind of looking at it from different perspectives, and giving yourself time, it's really important. So keep that in mind. And like I said, I give you a discount on that one, and I totally would recommend the follow up. And you already said you're going to do it, so I trust you on that one. But it's up to you. More about his love life. So yeah, he'll need lots of freedom and love. But he'll also like really be like the ultimate romantic. So he has to watch out. I have a friend. He used to be my best friend, and because he has Venus in Pisces, now it's completely different for him. Because he's the Aries Sun Aquarius Moon. My former best friend, my like got like literally like a brother who doesn't talk to me anymore for no reason. I was like literally the best friend to him possible. He was an amazing friend to me too. And he met what happened is that he met a girl who he married like after like a month, when he had been with his former girlfriend for 9 years, and then it never got married. And basically he he just kind of cut off contact with like everyone. And it's really that's like the low energy of Venus and Pisces, is that it's such an empath energy that it makes people only see the positive, or not no, I said that wrong. It makes people only see the potential. So like they see the potential in the individual, not the reality. And that is dangerous, 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 right? Because as Pisces people, they can be very subject like to like energy vampires, people who like sense their empathetic nature. So your son's gonna have to really watch out for that. So the whole talk about boundaries and him being like a natural empath is very important to have with him. Whether he integrates it or not, like at first he might be like, "Mom, that doesn't exist." But like I think he'll naturally kind of understand it. Maybe not. I don't really know. I just think that like my mom used to tell me things before I believed in spirituality, and she's like a shamanic practitioner, and it's not like I would like reject them, but like they definitely stuck with me. And then when I was ready, I realized that all those things she said, or a lot of the things she said, were like motivating forces for me to take the route I took. So you never really know when you're planting a seed. I would say for you, like I said, I'm going to reinforce this again, like really watch out on like because this guy needs freedom. your son needs freedom, and he really, like, Sag Moon, Pisces Suns, like we respond so gratefully to like people who love us and care for us, but also give us freedom, you know, and don't project their own like worrying onto us. Now, with your South Node being in Pisces, that just shows that, like, you know, you have this karmic ability, this like what he's trying to become is what you've been. So he's trying to become what comes very naturally to you. So that's very, very cool. So you're almost like his guide in this lifetime. And yeah, Juno in Capricorn, he's gonna look for someone very, very solid, someone who is a serious person, who's really serious about what they're doing career-wise, and you know, who's also interested in giving back. So yeah, and then besides that, you know, just like the energy of Sun square Moon, I mean, I can't stress it enough. The Pisces part wants to meditate. The Sag part wants to explore the world and travel. One part's super introverted, needs a ton of alone time. The other part's super social and wants to just always be around people. And the Leo rising is trining, right? It's trining the so there's an aspect pattern here. You see this? It's a trine here. It's called a, I don't know what the name for this pattern is, but basically it's a trine between and I have this too, by the way, just so you know. But his is more exact. And basically, well, actually, not really, because my quincunx, he's a quincunx between his sun and his ascendant. So the Leo part of him has nothing to do with the Pisces part. So like the Pisces part can be very, very hidden, right? So people will see him as a Leo, as this fun-loving, like very out there person, but really he's a super deep, like spiritual soul. And the Sag part is a trining, meaning like a very harmonious aspect, which means that they're like very similar energies, Sag in Leo. So that part of him will be very, very like it will connect very well. And basically the way he projects himself will be very linked to kind of like his kind of, you know how like for me, like I project myself as a Leo, and then I have all the Sag energy, but then I've also figured out a way to integrate like my feminine side, like my Pisces. That's kind of like a similar goal for him. And once again, I don't know, I think you've been following me for a while, long enough to see my videos and stuff. Let's see if I, okay. And then yeah, the Moon square Mercury, that means that his thought process and communication will be at odds with his emotional nature. So it can create lots of indecisiveness. Kind of like so there's a big need to connect his heart chakra with his throat chakra. And learning to kind of like speak his truth. And the best way that I figured out is like, because they're both ruled by Jupiter, Sag, and I guess Pisces ruled by Neptune in modern astrology, but like they're both like very Jupiterian energies. So he's gonna be a very Jupiterian person, someone who's very expansive, very optimistic. So it's about like taking like the outer like Sagittarian type of Jupiter and mixing it with the more like inner kind of Jupiter, like so the inner expansion and outer expansion, and finding a good balance between the two. So really finding a good balance between those is really important. Like for example, like he travels, like, you know, like traveling, or he like, you know, like experiences, like he's gonna need, like he's gonna be someone who wants to have tons of different experiences in life, right? And then being able to like take that all and create philosophies, and then like maybe like write about the philosophies, or like use those philosophies that the like that, because he's gonna be on this emotional need to like be on the search for grand truth, for ultimate truth, right? So being able to take that and then like put it into his like kind of life purpose. Now Uranus in the ninth house is very good for like for having very exciting like maybe like a unconventional kind of educate, like like education, and like beliefs, like spiritual beliefs. It also creates lots of excitement on like when he travels, and yeah, he might like be like believing like more unusual types of philosophies and or yeah, like really like kind of different. Midheaven in Taurus, you know, with his south node. I mean, I have my midheaven there too. Basically, it's just like he's gonna want a career that also has a level of stability and like ease, to where like kind of like when you look at me and like what I do, like I feel very at ease with what I do. I feel very grounded. Like he's gonna want a career that really grounds him, and it's Venus ruled, so you know, it's linked to his arts. So this could, you know, really be speaking to a career in the arts. So I already talked about this, like how in this, like in past lives, he's been the superstar in a sense, and not the superstar. He's been someone who's been very like oriented towards like material success. And in this life, he's really trying to move towards like deepening himself more internally, but also finding that balance. Now, finally, like Black Moon Lilith and Jupiter in the 11th house, you know, that is about like Jupiter in Gemini gives him the gift of gab. And I already talked about like really, really good for popularity, really good for wealth too. But yeah, it's a really good Jupiter placement. And he'll be someone who you know in Gemini who has the gift of gab, who really like is really good at communicating and likes to communicate with like tons of different types of people. And then Black Moon Lilith is more about like kind of the dark side of his personality that doesn't necessarily show up, but I'll go back to my face while I finish up this reading. That one, you know, it's more linked to like if you think of like the lower side of Gemini, it's like gossiping. So it's important for him to not like get involved in like scandals, like rumors and stuff like that. It's important for him to not be too scattered with what he's doing, right? Also, like there can be, I don't know, like he has to watch out to not be like too like hopping from group of friend to group of friend, like be more solid in that respect. Like he really needs to be connected to like-minded friends. That's like really, really important. I've said that before, so I think that makes perfect sense. Like people who really connect with him on the heart level, not just because they're like cool. And I've seen this like with other family charts I've done. I've seen that a lot. So yeah, the Black Moon in Gemini, like there's that gift of communication, but like it's about like using that to like a good way, in a good way. And like he might is a Sag Moon. One of the shadows of Sag Moon is like trying like so hard to like get everyone to believe what you believe in. Like like let's say he gets really into astrology. He like almost like trying to like force his opinions and his belief systems that he's worked so hard to achieve on other people. So it's also about yeah, so like learning to like listen to other people's viewpoints and worldviews and 1 second, I'm looking at my notes really quick. Yeah, so just really like being a good listener and because he'll probably be very intelligent, so like and very special, so he can't let that get to his head, and he needs to like listen to like other people's like I guess like other people's views, even like yeah, just in the sense of like not being like super dogmatic and not allowing other people to kind of enter into his world. I already talked about FOMO hot on Neptune, really, really strong. Okay. So I'm just looking at fixed stars right now, by the way, just so you know. Oh my God, damn. Okay, so he's gonna have a lot of money. He has Aldebaran, which is like one of the four royal stars. I guess it's, well, actually, it is like 2 degrees away. So Jupiter in Aldebaran is like it's like the wealth star. It's like so good for money, right? So to have Jupiter there, this really like powerful, expansive planet, is amazing for money. Really good for honor. It brings recognition, glory, like even luck in terms of like yeah, but he has to like really like be pursuing that like conscious path. But you have to watch out for being like lazy, basically, like complacent with that energy. But overall, you know, and I want to find this other, here it is. I'm not doing chewing tobacco. That's bad, by the way. I'm doing the Swedish kind that tastes like really good flavors. And I'm not addicted. I just do these things randomly. I start, then I stop. I started a few weeks ago and probably stop soon. Yeah, so it just gives great success and inspiration in whatever field these subjects find themselves in. I think it's chiefly because of the subject's unshakable faith and determination to pursue their dreams no matter what the obstacles are. The chance of success is more likely if Jupiter is well placed near an angle or closely aspected by one of the personal planets, but still, like, doesn't fucking matter. It's on Aldebaran, amazing. Now this one might be a little bit more difficult. Let's see here. No, that's not it. So with Markav on Mars, he has to watch out for, like, once again, like being too like too argumentative and too, like, kind of what I was saying with the Black Moon Lilith. There can be like difficulties and losses through mercurial affairs, which is like related to you know, uh, you know, like arguments, stuff like that. So also, like, Mars and Markab can be a little bit violent because it's in Pisces. It's gonna definitely not be like that. So it's really important for him to have that like that creative outlet. So besides that, let's see. Oh no, and yeah, his part of fortune's also, close to his midheaven. So he'll feel very at ease. I have the same thing. Um, he'll feel very at ease when he's like doing his thing career wise. He'll get lots of joy from his career. Okay, let's look at my other list of asteroids and whatnot. Nothing on the midheaven. Algol doesn't affect the nodes. Okay. Nothing there. Nothing there. And I want to look up one thing really quickly. What's this? So yeah, he'll really like with his he'll also like lots of freedom in relationships, as I said, and very spiritual kinds of relationships. Okay, I wanted to see if there's anything on this. I mean, I already kind of talked about it. Hots, astrology. I mean, I already talked about how it's like, you know, like just amazing for like spiritual, like art, the arts and stuff. But I don't know if there's much information on Neptune. So okay, it says sharp, Neptune conjunct Fomalhaut. Sharp, shrewd, self-seeking, analytical, detective ability. So I talked about that already. Detective ability. There can be secret enemies connected with secret affairs or government work, occult interest, somewhat dishonest, influential friends, gain through speculation, and many narrow escapes, whatever that means. So, yeah. So yeah, pretty much that's like everything. And we can, you know, with I think I'm already what, like nearly 3 hours in, so yeah, this has been going for a while. I really wanted to focus on his chart. As you said, you know, your chart, you know most everything about. I can take a look and see if there's anything extra that, like, for example, you having Neptune on your IC would suggest that you don't really necessarily have like that, like you might like over idealize or under idealize or have like very faint memories of childhood. Um, but yeah, like you're really here to help him with his self-esteem, with all your Virgo falling in a second, and then just help him with his journey. Just like you're an expert, because with your South Node Pisces, it means that you've done your past like tendency is doing the Pisces thing. So you'll be able to kind of help him like navigate that, which is really, really good. Now I want to just see if you have any of these. This is a long reading. Yeah, I mean, the fact that you have moon rising is amazing. It means that you're really able to express your emotions in an incredible way. But then Saturn there kind of blocks that. So I imagine your Saturn return is probably a time where you're able to really open up a lot. And yeah, this ability, this very rare ability to kind of just like, lots of artists have that where they're able to like express themselves. And your part of fortune's right on your sun. So it's basically saying that like the highest, like your highest joy comes when you're like in the highest energy of Virgo, away from perfectionism. I think of Virgo as like earth magic, you know? Like pureness, like the best, like kind of like the best you can do, like not having like ridiculous expectation for yourself, and kind of like if like your best you can do on one day is like 40 and the next day it's 70, like on a scale of 1 to 100, just being happy and being like very like learning the lesson of self-compassion. And yeah, like high Virgo energy, super spiritual too. And then your sun moon midpoint's there too. So yeah, it's like really like speaking to that energy of high Virgo. So for you, it would be like studying like what is high Virgo and what is low Virgo, you know? Okay, nothing here, nothing here, nothing here. What's this? Oh, wow. So you have Rigel on your midheaven. And you have Regulus on your Jupiter. Wow. So, what does Regulus on Jupiter do? I imagine it would just give amazing, like king, queen energy. And let's see. Yeah, so Jupiter conjunct Regulus, of course, it's not like exact. It says fame, high preferment, especially of a military nature, success in the church. Okay, I need to look at the other one for this one. It's one of the best configurations for success. People like this can reach high positions of trust, preferment, and favors. Fortune, riches, and powers could fall to these natives easily. It's really, really good for that too. Let's see what the other take is. It doesn't give another take. And then what was the other one I was talking about? It was Rigel. And Rigel is a nice one too. And you have it in your midheaven. Because Rigel is very linked to like, you know, happiness, like riches. It's very favorable for ambition, power, stuff like that. So have it on your midheaven, prosperity in business, like much gain acquired by labor and mental anxiety, lasting honors. A quick rise in life is promised in account of strong inherent willpower, love of action, a lucky hand, and in enterprise. So this is very nice for you to have this. A continuous battle to retain an acquired position has to be waged. This fight has at the same time stimulates an increase in vigor, even in spite of unhelpful aspects. Success in reaching the set aim can be secured by this powerful concentration. If, however, the native is not cautious or has an attack of weakness, failure, and disappointments, a fall from success will follow. So yeah, that's essentially it. Well, nearly 3 hours. Whatever. That's what we do here. I am very tired. And yeah, hope you enjoyed. So let me know about the compatibility and just message me, remind me. I said I would give you a reduction on that, and we can go from there. All right. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much, and talk to you later. Ciao.